Welcome to the 2025 high school football season. I'm Kenny Seifert, the coordinator of football officiating, and welcome to our new state-of-the-art studio. Everyone here at the office is excited to get the season going, and I hope you are as well. It is my pleasure to serve the game of football and work with the officiating community. I'm excited to provide these videos to all of the officials and coaches. During these instructional videos, we will look at how the new rules or interpretations will impact how the game is officiated. I am responsible for the script and the plays selected in these videos. Please note that no attempt is made to embarrass any institution, coach, student athlete, or official. These clips are being used for the purpose of making officiating better. The goal of this instructional video is to develop a style of officiating that will result in a consistent enforcement of the rules during the regular and postseason play. In addition, it is our hope that the coaches will utilize these videos as a tool to assist them in their teachings of the student athletes. It is all of the stakeholders' desire to have the same play officiated the same way, no matter what conference, league, geographic area of the state the game is located, or what time of the season the game is being played. We will continue this effort throughout the season with periodic videos sent to all football officials and coaches via email and also posted on the MSHSAA website. It is very important to begin this season by acknowledging and congratulating all officials, mechanic clinicians, rules interpreters, and observers on a job well done last season. Lastly, I want to personally thank the Football Video Committee for their time, compassion, and expertise in making these videos a possibility. Lastly, I would like to share with you some football officiating philosophy. While a thorough knowledge of the rules is important, it is not enough to guarantee the competency of an official. There are other attributes which are equally important. Officials must possess a combination of these if they are to fulfill their duties adequately. In addition to a complete mastery of the rules, officials must have a good knowledge of human nature and the ability to control situations as they arise. Officials must have a football sense which supersedes the technical application of the rules so that the game goes smoothly. Officials are expected to exercise good judgment in applying these rules. As officials, preparing for this new chapter for the game we love, we need to make sure that we continue to enforce the rules that we have so diligently mastered over the past several seasons. In the first instructional video this season, we will highlight risk minimization plays, including defenseless players, which is an NFHS point of emphasis this season, along with illegal blocks and unnecessary roughness fouls. Let's start with discussing defenseless receivers. Players are not allowed to initiate forceful contact against a defenseless receiver. The only times forceful contact against a defenseless receiver is legal is if there is incidental contact as a result of making a play on the ball, the contact is initiated with open hands, or the player attempts to tackle by wrapping arms around the receiver. If none of these three aspects are present, the hit is illegal and a 15-yard personal foul should be called. Let's look at this play in real time. As A3 in black catches this ball down the middle, B24 in white performs a textbook wrap-up tackle. Even though B24's contact was forceful and A3 by rule was defenseless, as this play illustrates, the contact was legal because B24's attempt to wrap and tackle made this a legal play. The back judge did a very nice job of not penalizing this action. Nice work. Now let's check out this legal blindside block play. On this misdirection run, B81 in green is defenseless based upon his physical positioning and, more importantly, his focus of concentration. A89 in white performs a forceful contact hit with his open hands, making this a legal blindside block. Good coaching, good execution, and good officiating. Teaching and executing these techniques are good for the game of football. Now that we've seen what is legal against a defenseless player, let's analyze what is not legal. The difference between this blindside block and the last one is the positioning, or lack thereof, of the open hands. K67 in white is indeed defenseless as he's running down the field on this punt return. R44 in purple initiates forceful contact without using his open hands. This forceful contact was initiated with his shoulder. Nice work by the back judge for watching this play start, develop, and finish before appropriately penalizing with a 15-yard personal foul flag, as illustrated right here. Officials are human, and unfortunately mistakes happen. We missed one on this play. As B26 in white attempts to get to the runner, his focus of concentration makes him a defenseless player, as illustrated here. Remember, whether in doubt as to whether a player is defenseless or not, they indeed are defenseless. As this is occurring, A6 in orange, illustrated right here, initiates forceful contact, and because he led with his shoulder and not with his open hands, this contact was illegal and should have been flagged for an illegal blindside block against a defenseless player. This illegal blindside block would be enforced from the spot of the foul. Officials need to pay special attention to players that are swimming upstream, as illustrated here. The head linesman is tied up with watching the runner at the sideline when this illegal block occurs. The back judge, who is somewhere in the back part of this end zone, becomes the primary on this play and should be looking at the blocks near the runner. The referee, depending on what is going on in the backfield, might be able to help pick up some of this action as well. Now let's look at some block below the waist plays. Note, blocking below the waist applies to both offensive and defensive players. When we look for these types of blocks, we're looking for a player to make initial contact below the waist from either the front or side against an opponent other than the runner. Since blocking below the waist is only permitted in the free blocking zone when 3 criteria are met, the next 2 clips being shared is to demonstrate the illegality of a block below the waist that occurs outside of the free blocking zone. In this play, A1 in green illegally initiates contact against his opponent below the waist, which is B24 in white, illustrated right here. Not only did the head linesman appropriately throw the flag on this illegal block, he did a pretty nice job of hustling down the field, squaring off, appropriately spotting the end of the run, and stopping the clock. Good officiating. Since blocking below the waist applies to both offensive and defensive players, the actions by B7 in purple against A68 in white is not legal and should have been penalized. Blocking below the waist is a 15-yard personal foul, and on this play would be added to the end of the run. Now let's shift to the topic of unnecessary roughness. We define unnecessary roughness as making contact with an opponent which is deemed unnecessary or excessive and which incites roughness. In our first clip, at the conclusion of the runner being downed, as B9 in red decelerates and eases up on the play, keep your eye on A60, who initiates forceful contact that is unnecessary and is appropriately penalized by the back judge, who throws his flag while hustling in to provide solid dead ball officiating. This dead ball unnecessary roughness foul on A60 will be enforced from the end of the run. In this play, after A42 in white has successfully crossed the goal line and is out of bounds, B22 in blue initiates contact that is late, not necessary, and unsafe. Great job of officiating by the head linesman, who not only throws his flag on this unnecessary roughness foul, but keeps his eye on the players out of bounds while he signals for the touchdown. Even the back judge hustles in to make sure there are no extracurricular activities amongst the players. Outstanding crew mechanics. As for the enforcement of the penalty on this play, Team A would have the option of having this 15-yard personal foul assessed on the try, which would be half the distance to the goal line, or have it assessed on the subsequent kickoff. And for good measure, here's one more. Since A15 in black muffed the snap, he is forced to pick up the loose ball and scramble to his left down the field. At the conclusion of the run, B34 in white, while having the running back in his grasp as both were out of bounds and going to the ground, proceeded to use extra force while throwing him to the turf, resulting in an obvious dead ball unnecessary roughness foul. Job well done by the line judge for throwing his flag and the crew for monitoring and providing a presence to the out-of-bounds players. And this concludes this year's first instructional video. I want to wish each and every one of you the very best of luck this upcoming season. Let's start off the 2025 season with great effort, great teamwork, and most importantly, a great attitude. Good luck.